Hello everyone, it is Kaahlan, and welcome back to another episode of my Danganronpa playthrough. Alright, unfortunately, Sakura is dead. It sucks. That's not who I wanted to die. I have a current hypothesis. My theory is that Sakura and Hina worked on this together. Hina was the one to poison Sakura, but with, like, Sakura wanting to do it. And then Sakura shut herself in this room in a ploy to get Hina out of here. Hina is the one that pointed us to this room. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle? Interesting. I don't know why that would be there. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure? What? Interesting? What is this? This looks like some kind of wrapper.
Huh?
Ah, that's... Do you recognize it, Hina? Well, yeah. I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So, after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So, you gave that candy to Sakura? I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Polka dot candy wrapper. Interesting. Oh, I was not. I was trying to look at the blood. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? That is a good question.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto?
Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. I mean, that would imply that it would be, if it's not one of them three, then I would think it could be Hina or Kyoko. Come on.
Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room.
What?
After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She'd asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon.
By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then.
I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened.
Hina, it's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. What's Kyoko?
However,
But for Sakura to have been killed,
Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
It's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So, how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. I think Kyoko is also maybe thinking that Hina and Sakura could have been in on this. What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So, you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Oh, okay, thanks. That's just my glass. I broke it. Wait, what is that? Oh, it's protein. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So...
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. Was her protein poisoned? And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So, she must have gotten this from the chem lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey.
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. Empty protein drink has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. How? I guess why would there be other glass? I'm just trying to like think that through in my brain, like okay, well that looks like, is that the red bottle? Oh, yeah, it sure is, with the figure inside. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how'd they get those figures inside the bottles?
So...
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh, yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So, this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Okay. Well, it looks like there are 2 missing. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. The Monokuma bottle's sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. so I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Yeah, but that's weird. Right? Oh, I guess I should probably... Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So, what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Byakuya.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Well, I think it's because she was fucking poisoned. Huh? The locker's open, and they're on the inside. It's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker, and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was opened, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey.
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then... what does this handprint mean? That's a good question. The more evidence I find, the more confused I've become. This is also the room without a time, right? It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon. So, roughly an hour ago? Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. What's this? The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on that chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. That we know of. Did I look at everything already? Man, can I continue to look around? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window. Which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside. Alright.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then...
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
Listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right, I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Let's go. Oh, I'm just trying to leave. Oh gosh, dang it. Everything's going wrong. I don't want to read through all of this again. Yes, I want to just leave the area. Sorry for clicking on the door. Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. I guess that's what we're gonna go with. Toko, I think, is first. I don't remember how really. Aw, Junko. I pressed the doorbell. Ding dong. And after a few seconds... Oh, it's Toko again? Huh?
Who's there?
Who's there? Ah, the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something? If it's something indecent, get ready for a sexual harassment lawsuit. I meant to click on that, but
What do
I
you
didn't.
want?
I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What?
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said too, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I admit it. I did get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Was Toko even in charge at that point, or was it Jill? I pressed the doorbell. Ding dong. And after a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Oops, yeah I did. Where'd you go?
You know?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
What?
How'd you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that?
What?
Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. I think he's lying. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note.
How about that?
She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. Yeah, it sure is. So then you went and met with Sakura?
You got it all wrong.
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
Last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at
I haven't
me.
seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come on.
Sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh? Interesting. Pretty sure that Hina said she was the only one that had that candy. Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a little bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked me to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Yeah, that's the candy wrapper. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? We'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So, where should I start? Can I look in Hina's room for the candy? I'm just wondering. This is Hina's room. It has nothing to do with the case. I mean, it could. Alright, it very well could. Is this the warehouse, I think? I wonder if we can check in here for anything. No, I think it's all the regular stuff. Okay, let's go to the chem lab. See how that goes. I don't know if that's actually faster. I really don't. This one I think it's faster to teleport. I think. I have no, there's no actual science. Oh, I remember where stuff is. That's the data? Wait, where is the oh, that's right. Okay. I remember. Oh, shit. Go away, Byakuya. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the fourth floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then, this powder must have been spilled.
So in other words...
That's right, it could only have been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Is that it? These are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf? How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
What?
Well, let's go. Chop chop. Oh, okay. So I got to work, and before long I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me.
I see.
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
It's certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours? No.
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Oh, the powder itself is a clue? There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell, for now. Alright. So what's in the left side of the shelf? Let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit, section A. Huh? But wait. There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? Interesting. So, on this shelf is... It looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh?
What?
What? You think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
That's
The
fine.
words of a lifelong loser, which, I suppose, suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on that shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. On this shelf is... One look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving section, or unit section C. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. What was the name? I'm trying to remember what was labeled on the protein shaker. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Maybe I should. That is the wrong button. Can I look at... Where is the... Protein shake Chem A2. Did someone poison her? Okay, it's A2. Alright, well let's go back to the rec room. Later, Byakuya. Alright, gotta go all the way back down. I'm not yawning, you're yawning. Oh wait, we don't have to go that far, it's on the 3rd floor. Could have teleported. Definitely could have. So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
So, along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. I'm pretty sure Hiro's lying. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You'd do well to look them over one more time. Alright, let's look at Sakura's body. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
Just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but...
Hey.
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although, there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal. Then, how can you?
So...
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
Hey.
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
Correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1. Doesn't that mean that she spilled the poison?
Hey.
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
It's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. Let me explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spartless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So, that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. I am having some difficulties talking today. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at the body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Yeah, maybe. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
Hey.
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages, near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters. And it said, Toko. Could this be a dying message?
Correct.
Then it would appear you've found it. Kyoko, is this...
So...
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. But we just learned that Sakura literally has clean hands. A dying message.
However...
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might have come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it.
What the heck?
Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. All right. You know what? We're gonna end it here. We'll take a look. Not the map. I want to save. We will take a look at the Monokuma bottles tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next episode. Look, I'm tired for some reason. I can't be blamed for my mistakes in this episode. I can. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider like, commenting, and subscribing. I appreciate it as always, and have a good one. Goodbye!